A new interview regarding XRP has surfaced, featuring Alan Crypto and Jake Claver. Let's play it and dive in. Paul Barron also has some other updates, which we will dive into shortly. The European Central Bank is getting closer and closer to launching its own digital money, according to recent developments. Some relationships will be examined. Diana has also shared her thoughts on a 943 XRP scenario in a forum post. Simply put, I am incredibly grateful for all of your support. On this September 13th, I will become 41 years old. I just wanted to say thanks to everyone who has watched and supported my channel over the past 3 years. In honor of the channel's 3rd anniversary on September 20th, I want to say thank you for all the love, support, and enthusiasm you've shown me over the years. A debt of gratitude is due to the XRP army. I am incredibly grateful. Then let's begin. Something along the lines of, listen, these are global commodities, right? Was mentioned by someone from Franklin Templeton. They aren't stock options. Such things do not exist. Interestingly, someone on the Ripple board and Robert Mitnick, who is in charge of digital assets at BlackRock, actually co-authored a paper. Are you familiar with the paper that discusses Ripple's valuation? Yes, I have. By the way, what are the most optimistic estimations for that valuation? It was $32.90 and will likely display it on the screen. Robbie did in fact develop a calculator. It was just mentioned in the article. Although it is now hard to locate online, it demonstrates that in order for XRP to serve its intended purpose, its token price would need to be around $10,000. That Robbie has taken up the role at BlackRock is indeed intriguing. I found this document by accident. I was having a conversation with someone regarding exchange-traded funds, ETFs, when I mentioned that I think people are underestimating the volume that the XRP ETF will actually see. When it comes to reaching the 10 billion barrier, I believe Ethereum will be the clear winner. There were about 250 days. In my opinion, it will not be able to surpass Bitcoin after 52 days. I might be completely mistaken. As an XRP holder, I would happily be proven wrong. Therefore, in my opinion, it is not quite Bitcoin nor Ethereum. In my opinion, the CME futures are the quickest futures to reach $1 billion in open interest ever.
Yeah.
A wild 3 months. Something seems to pique people's interest. That BlackRock will not provide an XRP ETF was also raised as an issue. Indeed, I reasoned why else would they? In 2017, Robbie worked at Ripple and has written articles on the topic of its value. Must be obvious. I can't discuss it, they've said whenever anyone has asked them about it, even Brad. I see. Yeah, we get the wink from them. First of all, the view of one Ripple employee is significant, but it will not cause a complete overhaul of BlackRock's operations. The demand from customers is what prompted BlackRock to enter the Bitcoin and Ethereum markets. There are approximately 50 to 60 million Bitcoin holders. Few millions of XRP exist. Therefore, in order to inquire about the availability of spot XRP products, BlackRock customers will need to contact their financial advisors by phone. Yes, that is precisely the kind of investment I am considering. I don't expect them to take action until after that. It will really require that push from consumers and customers to get it over the queue, but we know they're likely intrigued and have some plans. As a matter of fact, I find this intriguing. When considering the worth of this material, I also consider. Next, we'll discuss how you perceive the value in all of this. Additionally, nobody is thinking about where we might be in 5 years. Regarding the biggest stock in the 1800s, you know what I mean. 1980 is too deep in the past for us to dig into now. Out in the US, it was IBM. Alright, if you are interested in seeing the entire interview, it lasts for an hour. Kindly do that. Ripple released this. Our primary focus is on Ripple Swell. This November no less. It goes back to the Big Apple. The Swell Conference is a gathering place for influential people in the world of cryptocurrency payments and banking policy to deliberate about the future of money. Someone like me, a tiny YouTuber, no invitation to Swell will come my way. Would be awesome to visit someday, even though I don't have a clue about the future of finance. That is definitely something I want to accomplish here at some point. Now we'll observe. What follows is a large Paul Atkins, chairman of the SEC, has recently concluded discussions with the European Central Bank as part of his European tour, which signals a major change in the way crypto is regulated around the world. Here are the main points to remember. Atkins says that crypto's time has here. The vast majority of cryptocurrency tokens do not qualify as securities. Promote unified app platforms where users can buy, sell, and stake all in one place. Near future US and EU regulations will be harmonized. This is more than just lip service. It lays the groundwork for a united transnational digital asset framework which has the potential to release trillions of dollars worth of XRP in capital flows across borders. The method that relied heavily on enforcement in the past is no longer effective. The innovation mistake starts right now. It was sad that the day that Charlie Kirk was shot and killed coincided with my scheduled interview with Paul Barron. So, we're moving that to the very end of the schedule. Obviously, you should never support violence of any kind. It pains me to hear that occurred. At the present time, our world is extremely complex. I really hope that we can all calm down and take a deep breath. I was hoping to find anything more I could have missed, so I sought out some other background information. Crypto Recognition SEC. The chairman of Atkins is signaling official acknowledgement of the sector's significance by stating that crypto moment has arrived. It is proposed that most crypto tokens should not be classified as securities, which would represent a significant change in regulation. A call has gone out for super apps that enable numerous services, and one such app is an integrated financial platform. Staking, lending, and trading all in one place. Regulatory alignment. Alignment with EU's regulations, etc. Tokenizing all this value and getting it on-chain fast requires all of these jurisdictions to communicate with each other. Keep that in mind. In order to determine how we might bring these elements up to date on both the old and new blockchain rails, there needs to be an update in both the actual world and the blockchain world whenever something is sold. How then do you do it, and how do all those pieces fit together? Furthermore, that can only be accomplished by a concerted effort including numerous nations and individuals. Yesterday, I recorded an exhaustive video covering all things ECB. If you want to know what the ECB is up to, it should be out on Friday or Saturday. This clip won't be played because I already spent a lot of time on it in 2 videos yesterday. However, Christine Lagarde is currently involved in a lot of discussions regarding the European Central Bank's LECB technology decision-making process, which will take place in October. So, in October, we should hear more about the situation. Although she has brought up Stellar and Circle on multiple occasions, I believe she has brought up Ripple more frequently. I simply wanted to show you this, and it's towards the end. This is an old clip, and I'm not going to play it in its entirety because, well, people will ask why you broadcast old clips. Allow me to demonstrate. Your bank and the trusting relationships you've built with your customers will serve as the foundation upon which you can build, allowing you to alter it, cut costs, speed up transactions, and maintain your customers' confidence. I perceive a shift occurring in that area at the moment. They are active in the areas you mentioned, such as Circle and Ripples, and they are most helpful and active in that area. Would you consider Circle when looking for technology related to a digital currency issued by a central bank? Since they are a steady coin corporation, the answer is no. Ripple is the way to go because of their private ledgers and the technologies they offer that nations may utilize to construct. The results of these various trials with smaller nations are proving to the larger nations, such as the EU, France, and the UK, that Ripple's technology is effective. They can set you up for minting, redeeming, burning, or whatever else you desire, in order to establish a CBDC for retail or wholesale use. Keep in mind that while major banks deal with each other in wholesale, regular people like you and me deal with businesses when we buy groceries or petrol. A retail CBDC, that is. Okay. Next, we'll take a look at the past. Christine Lagarde is here, and we all know Brad Garlinghouse